So this video, as you can see, is already starting out a little differently. How you guys doing? I am your decapitated Casey. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time watching me and this is your first impression, I am so sorry. So, a couple videos ago, I mentioned I was having some dental issues. Okay, nothing too gross, just a little oopsie with some whitening strips. And fun fact about me, one of my buck teeth, my incisors I think they're called, is completely fake. So, it's a crown, it's a cap. My brother knocked it out of my head when I was just 2 days away from starting middle school. Yeah, how do you like that? Starting out your basically teenage years with a missing tooth, and not like in the back of your mouth, like right there where everyone could see it. Good news is, whatever was making me super in pain a couple weeks ago is all gone. I feel great, everything is good. However, they had to give me a root canal, which did hurt. They didn't put me asleep. I heard the saw, everything. There was actually smoke coming out of my mouth at one point. They did the root canal. They had to take my crown off of my tooth, so I got to see the little tiny gross tooth nub in there. You thought you were coming for booktube content. No, this is about dentistry. And they gave me a temporary crown, which you people might know, the temporary never, barely ever matches the rest of your teeth. My new fancy permanent crown is coming in 2 weeks, but until then, until June 4th, these rows of pearly whites are stained by one weird, nasty looking yellow tooth, which isn't mine, because my teeth are perfect, except for the one that's not so perfect, which is the whole reason why this whole thing is happening. But this nasty yellow color was the closest they had to my really white teeth. Okay, my teeth are too perfect, they cannot be matched. So until I get it replaced, every time I look at this camera, all I see is that nasty grody tooth, and I'm self-conscious and vanity wins out. So we doing this like this, okay? I had plans for this TBR. I was going to do a cool skit in the beginning, and I'm going to have to move off to some other date. I was going to show you all the books I was going to read, but most importantly, which is why I'm making this weird video, I wanted you guys to pick books for me again. This time, fantasy books. Because I am really in a fantasy mood, and look at these monsters. I better take advantage of this feeling, this craving I have for them while I have it. Because, dang man, dang, they big giant. I was just going to postpone this whole video until after I get my tooth fixed. But I want you guys to go ahead and be able to vote for these at the earliest possible moment, so everyone can get their say in. So like I said, instead of going through my entire TBR for the month of June, I'm just going to introduce you guys to the 3, which is technically 9 candidates for what I am going to read in June, your pick. And also just a little reminder that there is going to be a poll right here. And if you want to have your say, it has to be in the poll, not in the comments. Although do tell me what you wrote or what you voted for in the comments. But just remember, the comments don't determine what's getting read. So our first candidate is, as you can see, these are all giant, and they're not just all solitary books. No, they're volumes. There's 3 books in each of these monsters, which is kind of cool. Makes it easier to carry around. But the first one is a fantasy based on the Dungeons and Dragons games, which has me mildly concerned because I've never played Dungeons and Dragons. This is the Legend of Dritz, the first 3 books. We have Homeland, Exile, and Sojourn. Fancy vocabulary? Still an infant, his mother held a dagger to his heart. Just a boy, he was initiated into a subterranean world of violence and evil. Finally, Drizzt escapes his dark legacy and ventures into the wild Underdark in search of his destiny. Awesome. This guy sounds like an anti-hero. He's going to have some people after him. He sounds like a pariah. I like that. Only concern, I've opened this book before. I've landed randomly on a page, and these people's names, they have 6 syllables. That's too much. Especially the panther up in here. The panther sidekick, which is admittedly pretty cool. What's this name? Minzo Baranzan. No one needs that name. I'm telling you that right now. But I am excited for this. I've heard nothing but people pleading for me to read it, and I am going to eventually, but you can speed that up right now if you vote for this book right here. I like Stranger Things. I should like this. Dungeons and Dragons, that's my argument. Next book. And here we have Brent Week's Night Angels. All the books. And I think this book series, let me double check. Yes, I was correct. So, the 3 books that are wrapped up into this compendium, I guess that's the word for it. Way of Shadows, first book. Shadow's Edge, book 2. And Beyond the Shadows, book 3. They were released 1 month after each other. First book was in, I think it was October. Next book, November. Next book, December of that year. That's like weird. And I like that. So it has to be good to have that quick of a publication for its sequels. And also, if you guys know Brent Weeks, he made the Black Prism series. Black Prism, Blinding Knife, Broken Eye, and that's a series I really want to get into, but I have the Night Angel trilogy right now. Let me tell you what the first book is about. For Brent, assassination is an art, and he is the city's most accomplished artist. Okay, I'm liking all of these options. We got like assassins, anti-heroes, everything is good. For Azoth, survival is just the beginning. He was raised on the streets and knows an opportunity when he sees one, even when the risks are as high as working for someone like Brent. Azoth must learn to navigate the assassin's world of dangerous politics and strange magic and become the perfect killer. Blah. Okay, awesome. So what do you guys want? You want some magical dark elves, some Drow rangers that are in The Legend of Dritz, or do you guys want some assassins? Ooh, I do not envy the choices you have to make, my friend. Out of curiosity, how many pages is this? We are in the thousands. That is awesome. And lastly, we have a series, a trilogy that I only picked up because it's called the Inheritance Trilogy, and I'm like, who's trying to rip off the inheritance cycle? Gods and mortals, powers and love, death and revenge, she must unleash them all. I love fantasy books because everyone is trying to kill everyone. Awesome. But the bad thing about buying books in these giant collections is I never know what the individual books are actually named, so I have to look it up. Also, fun fact, I never spell inheritance correctly. I always put an E where the A is. Book 1 is the 100,000 Kingdoms. And, interesting enough, this is the lowest rating of these books. This is a 3.85. Still good though. And be prepared for me to mispronounce the protagonist's names. Yin Dar is an outcast from the barbarian north. But when her mother dies under mysterious circumstances, she is summoned to the majestic city of Sky. There, to her shock, Yin is named an heiress to the king. But the throne of the 100,000 kingdoms is not easily won, and Yin is thrust into a vicious power struggle. Dun dun dun. Let us just all agree that June is going to be an awesome fantasy month. So I'm just going to go over the choices for you guys again. Inheritance Trilogy, girl made heiress in a traitorous land where she has to fight for the throne. We got Brent Weeks' Night Angel. Guy apprentices himself to a master assassin, hijinks ensue. And then we have The Legend of Dritz, monsters everywhere. A man who has had death marked upon his brow since infanthood, and his quest to seek where he belongs. Okay guys, get to it. You know where the poll is. I miss seeing your faces. And up I go again. So you guys know what to do. Better hurry up and vote, because when I finish all the other books I'm going to read for this month, the winner is gonna be my dinner. Nailed it. Until next time, guys, where you will most likely see this beautiful face again. Bye-bye.